Hello everyone, today I want to briefly contend why Mortal Kombat X may only be worth $10 or less. If your contention is disparate from mine, then please feel free to express it via the comment section beneath this video. Without further ado, let's get started. In one of my previous videos, I notified you about the foibles of Mortal Kombat X. If you recollect, I notified you that the control schemes are complex and arduous to master, in contrast to the control schemes of video games within the Super Smash Bros. Series that are intuitive, streamlined, and simplistic to utilize. Furthermore, the character roster of Mortal Kombat X is significantly smaller than the character roster of Mortal Kombat Armageddon. Mortal Kombat Armageddon was released 9 years prior to the advent of Mortal Kombat X being launched. Furthermore, a Mortal Kombat racing kart mode is not instituted within Mortal Kombat X. It should have been imported from Mortal Kombat Armageddon into Mortal Kombat X. There's no valid reason why they should have neglected to import that stellar racing kart mode. I would have loved to be able to race players via online, but now I'll never be able to relish that experience since it has been omitted from the latest iteration within the Mortal Kombat series. Moving on, they also omitted to import Kratos from the God of War series and Freddy Krueger from the Nightmare on Elm Street series, who were both in Mortal Kombat, the Complete Edition, into Mortal Kombat X. So, Mortal Kombat X is devoid of content that was embedded within precursor Mortal Kombat video games. This is just a catastrophe within itself and a dire issue. But what are some other issues pertaining to this game? Well, the game will likely lack console exclusive playable characters. The netcode will likely be dreadful. What are the repercussions associated with having a game that utilizes abysmal netcode? Well, you're going to be unable to play the game lag-free without experiencing connectivity issues. So the lag that persists will stifle your ability to play Mortal Kombat X matches properly. That's a major calamity within itself. Also, purchasing the full version of Mortal Kombat X for its hefty retail price of at least $60 will not allow you to access all of the game's content. Whatever happened to the era when you could buy a video game such as a Nintendo 64 game and receive all the game's content on the ROM amid buying it? So I presume that being able to play the full Mortal Kombat X game with all its downloadable content will cost you a bare minimum of $80 or more. That's quite a hefty price just to be able to play a modern day video game today, especially when a copious amount of video games can be played for free. So for $10 instead of purchasing Mortal Kombat X when the price plunges, you could alternatively purchase Shadowrun and Mortal Kombat Armageddon. Both of those games are stellar. Perhaps you could also contend that Mortal Kombat Armageddon has more intrinsic value in contrast to Mortal Kombat X, since it has a larger character roster, a Mortal Kombat racing kart mode, and it likely has other features that are not going to be imported into Mortal Kombat X. What else? You could also play Mugen for free. There are Mortal Kombat variations of Mugen. So if you want to be able to play the free version of Mortal Kombat, then you could play Mugen via online. That $10 could be allocated into purchasing a couple phenomenal video games other than purchasing Mortal Kombat upon its price decreasing. So if Jason Voorhees and the Predator are purchasable downloadable characters and omitted from the game's roster, then I may never purchase this game. I may neglect to perpetually play Mortal Kombat X. It's too bad that these characters were not included within the vanilla version of the game. Hopefully a complete edition of Mortal Kombat X will be released, which will enable me to access the game's full character roster. I do not want to lay out any more money than $10 to be able to play as Jason Voorhees or the Predator. But if you want to be able to play as Jason Voorhees and the Predator in a Mortal Kombat game without laying out a penny, then download Mugen and download Jason Voorhees and the Predator. You could also download Freddy Krueger, who could be added to your character roster. If you want to customize your own Mortal Kombat character roster, the characters may not be as polished and as fleshed out as they are in Mortal Kombat X. But Mugen does have some merit. The characters are simplistic to control. What else? The graphics are mediocre, even if they're not rendered in native 1080p. And the music is interchangeable. You could also download a plethora of stages, so you could customize the game to your preference. I love Mugen. I love being able to revel in playing free-to-play video games. I do not want to indulge in pay-to-play activities. For $10, Mortal Kombat X is just too expensive. It just doesn't even warrant a $10 price tag if Jason Voorhees and the Predator are not included within the video game's default roster. If you have to purchase them as separate downloadable characters, that is a real bummer. That agitates me and infuriates me. That deters me from wanting to purchase Mortal Kombat X. I just hope that a complete edition of the game is released so that I can vindicate purchasing the complete edition of the game for $10. Apparently the characters integrated within Mortal Kombat X have 3 fighting styles, and apparently the graphics have been augmented in contrast to the previous Mortal Kombat video games. However, just because characters have more fighting styles than before, and just because the graphics have been enhanced, does not vindicate relinquishing over 1,000 pennies, or 100 dimes, or 200 nickels, or 40 quarters, just to be able to play most of the game's content. So I'll likely abstain from purchasing Mortal Kombat X until the price of the game drops to $5 or less. Perhaps I'll lay out $5 to be able to play the latest installment within the Mortal Kombat series, even if I cannot play as the Predator and Jason Voorhees without spending additional money. So for $5, I'll likely procure a copy of this video game. For any more, I'll likely forgo the opportunity to buy the game, and instead I'll retain the $10 and apply it elsewhere towards a game that has more substance and more merit. Mortal Kombat X doesn't have enough novelties that I find appealing to vindicate purchasing the game at a premium price. So I believe I've conveyed my point. I'm done ranting and raving. It is what it is. I've no input about what transpires within the game. I'm not a Mortal Kombat X developer. The aforementioned issues will likely never be rectified. I doubt that the video game developers will do anything to remedy the situation. In the modern era, you get less content for more money. It's a real shame, it's a real pity, but you need to wait for the price of modern day video games to plummet before you can justify purchasing them, since they only have a finite amount of content included within them. In the meantime, I'll play free-to-play games and vicariously play Mortal Kombat X through watching other people's gameplay videos. I cannot afford the game after all. I hope you found this video to be enthralling and insightful. Have a wonderful, marvelous day. Goodbye.